never let the ops win. Calm them nerves, got the whole world watching. Ready, set, go, and there ain't no stopping. Got one option, light it up. Everything burns. Light it up. 今は許されません。私は挑戦者を応援させてもらいます。Chest, the blood boils inside of me. Looking at the walls around me, closing in. I think what's it gonna be? オーダーはそうは許されません。私は挑戦者を応援させてもらいます。 chest, the blood boils inside of me. Looking at the walls around me, closing in. I think what's it gonna be? Never had a choice. 私は挑戦者を応援させてもらいます。My chest, the blood boils inside of me. Looking at the walls around me, closing in. I think what's it gonna be? Never had a choice, never let the ops win. Calm them nerves, got the whole world watching. Ready, set, go, when there ain't no stopping. Got one option, light it up. Everything burns. Light it up, let's go. Light it up, let's go. Everything burns. Light it up, let's go. Light it up, let's go. I'm on fire, burning brighter than anyone alive. I'm way too hot to touch, so just remember if you try. Everything burns. Everything burns. Bones are shaking out my skin. I got tingling in my hands, moving like a lightning strike. I'm on tonight, so just catch me if you can. Never had a choice, never let the ops win. Calm them nerves, got the whole world watching. Ready, set, go, when there ain't no stopping. Got one option, light it up. Everything burns. Light it up, let's go. Light it up, let's go. Everything burns. Light it up, let's go. I'm on fire, burning brighter than anyone alive. I'm way too hot to touch, so just remember if you try. Everything burns. Not here to make
コーナーの枠組みは許されません。私は挑戦者を応援させてもらいます。
Everything fever shaking out my skin. I got tingling in my hands, moving like a lightning strike. I'm on tonight, so just catch me if you can. Never had a choice, never let the ops win. Calm down, watching, ready, set, go. And there ain't no stopping. Got one option, light it up. Everything burns. Light it up, let's go. Light it up, let's go. Everything burns. Light it up, let's go. Light it up, let's go. I'm on fire, burning, burning.
終わりされません。私は挑戦者を応援させてもらいます。
shaking out my skin. I got tingling in my hands, moving like a lightning strike. I'm on tonight, so just catch me if you can.
今日は許されません。私は挑戦者を応援させてもらいます。
chest, the blood boils inside of me. Looking at the walls around me, closing in, I think, what's it gonna be? Never had a choice, never let the ops win. Calm them nerves, got the watching. Ready, set, go, when there ain't no stopping. Got one option, light it up. Everything burns! Light it up, let's go, light it up, let's go. Everything burns! Light it up, let's go, light it up, let's go. I'm on fire, burning, burning.
は許されません。私は挑戦者を応援させてもらいます。
mission to climb one of the world's most challenging mountains.
Ill-fated expedition to the top of K2 was airlifted to safety today. 11 other
More than a quarter of the people who try to scale it die in the attempt.
Why did we split up? Have actually perished on K2. One of the worst disasters in the history of mountaineering, and in particular on K2, which is the most dangerous mountain on Earth.
I think people are interested in trying to know what actually happened that day. 8,000 meters, you're in the death zone. There is a struggle, there is a fight in every breath, in every thought. Everything hurts, every limb, every cell is screaming oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. You don't feel the cold anymore. You don't think the same way. You don't know if you're dreaming or if it's real. Time seems to stand still. Sometimes things go wrong, you know? But the question you should ask yourself, what would you do?
It's good to be back here, and it's nice to wake up to this sight this morning. It's my belief that everybody has a love of climbing. You know, the first thing a child wants to do is climb something. The art of rock climbing is relearning what you knew intuitively as a child.
You get such a big respect for this mountain and all the climbers who did it before you. If you want to have a nice story on the birthday parties, you know, you climb Everest. But K2 is really, I think, for the real mountaineers.
Hello!
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Pretty good view, I reckon. I think it's pretty hard to beat, actually.
There is quite different between people from Himalaya and from Western world. It's quite different because the Western people, they are more adventurer. They love more adventure. Our people also like adventure, but they love climbing.
Where are we? Oh, we are now climbing K2.
All right.
Yes.
Il primo in vetta al K2 è di questa valle qua. Achille e compagnoni, per cui il K2 è metà nostra.
Everything is raw. It's glaciers, it's black mountains. It fills you with respect. K2 is absolutely the king.
The higher it gets, the more interesting it gets. So when it comes to climbing 8,000 meter peaks, you want to do it, but at the same time you have this fear. This is serious. This is for real. If you make one step wrong, you're history.
Finally here. Such a relief.
Fantastic job.
Good job.
let's get the tents up, the stoves going, and prepare for tonight. Good? Yes.
For 3 months we were on this expedition. So when we reached Camp 4, it was already a magic moment. The whole earth is beside you. And then you look behind you, you see another mountain. And that's K2, it's a mountain on a mountain. Jer was coming, I was filming, I was asking Jer how are you feeling, and he was almost crying.
So happy to be here. I almost cry. We're 6. Fair to get here. Here we are now. That's wonderful.
You could hear his voice, it's something what we already achieved, it's already something. That's what he said. We had a brilliant night, there were no clouds, there was nothing. And then we went to the summit.
You afraid?
No.
No?
I am. No. I'm scared to death. No, take out in there with a cup.
It felt overall like this was our day. We moved up along the slopes above 4. Fred and I started out a little more slowly. Both of us felt really strong, very positive.
There were perfect conditions. I mean, we're talking about day in a million. There wasn't a day like this that I can remember because it was warm.
Starting to get light enough to see the route up ahead, looking up, seeing a tightly spaced group of climbers moving extremely slowly.
They're not moving. What are they doing?
We are way back in time. We are really late. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do.
Pretty disappointing.
I was so devastated. You put in so much effort for months, and then you just realize that there's no way that we're gonna be able to summit and come back down in daylight. We just went down. It was simple as that.
Many of the other climbers there had been on Everest or other 8,000ers before K2. I hadn't been higher than 6,200. I just wanted to come along to see how high I could get. When we finally got to the bottleneck, there's actually a traffic jam. The Serac was the main danger. It's probably almost 100 meters high, slightly overhanging, and it could crack any time.
This very, very delicate place is notorious. Ice can drop at any time. It's a Russian roulette. That's what it is.
The main tactic to avoid the dangers of the Serac is to be fast, to minimize the time when you're exposed to it. It was not with a good feeling waiting there.
Ahí sí que se podían poner tornillos de hielo bien, y de qué maneras estaba escalando, poniendo todo el peso en la cuerda y la cuerda tirando de los tornillos, quizás era un poco, me daba...
Above 8,000, you can only trust yourself. I wanted to traverse out to the right to have a rest outside of the fixed ropes. It's exhausting to be in a queue, to wait. You can't climb in your own pace. Several others also wanted to wait there until people had passed.
The bigger the chain, the bigger the chance that there is somebody in this chain who is, making a mistake.
Dren, he unclipped his rope, tried to pass me. His rope tried to pass me.
We were all shocked when he fell, but when he stopped, he stood up and waved. So we thought he was fine.
He's standing up. He's okay. But then we saw him falling again and sliding further down.
Right there at the edge.
Yeah.
What's happening?
What do you see? Yeah, steering, this is Eric, Camp 4, over.
I picked up my camera and I zoomed in, trying to find him, locate him. How can someone fall at this perfect day? No wind? It's bright, it's great. How is it possible?
Steering, I understood that you and Pemba are climbing. Are you in the lead, and has there been an accident? Over.
Is he in the rock?
He's here. There is the rope.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
Down this.
Yeah. Steering says he's moving.
Wow. He's still alive. We have to do something.
Is everybody coming down? That's the question.
Steering, do you know if everyone is coming down at this point? Over.
Of course, we had a discussion. Should we turn around, to try to help? We talked about it, and then we said, listen, the Serbian guys are going down. The Americans are there, I think it doesn't make sense, to go down.
There's not a big conversation each other about the accident. After 3-4 minutes, they start climbing again.
I was like, I'm gonna save this guy. I'm gonna save him. There's no way he's gonna die. Not this day. No way. It's not gonna happen. I just shoot up.
He hit on the rock, lose control, keep falling for 200 more meters and stopped. And I started coming down. There were maybe 2 guys below me, so I came down pretty fast, maybe 10 minutes. He was wrapped in rope and just giving no sign of life. Already very pale and gray, cuts on the head, black nose broken, blood from mouth.
Finished.
Totally finished, almost.
If I knew that Dren was dead, I would not have gone up. The Serbians, they want to take him down to base camp. I said that that's impossible. What we can do is that we can at least bring him down to Camp 4 and give him a proper burial there. 8,000 meters, you're in the death zone. Every step is a burden. But when you have a dead body, it's a hell of a load.
Okay, we have to go down like this, guys. Yeah.
You have to stay not so close.
Yes.
If you do fall, you release, okay? It's our lives too, okay? Remember.
GNB from Pakistan suddenly started acting really weird. He's coming down on my right side, holding on to the rope, which goes around my lower legs. And we are crying out.
Release the rope! Release the rope!
On my lower legs. And right side, holding on to the rope, which goes around my lower legs. And we are crying out.
Release the rope! Release the rope!
He did not make one single move to stop his fall.
Jesus Christ.
Instead, he just let go. And he shoots off like a rocket straight out to the open air and just disappears.
If you climb on K2, it's very necessary that you have the right people in the team. You have to trust each other fully for 200%. Gerard said, hey, listen, it would be lovely if I can bring Pemba. And Pemba is a Sherpa. But a lot of people are thinking about a Sherpa that he's just an ordinary guy who's bringing up stuff up the mountain. But Pemba was a really a different guy. You know, he was a professional climber like we were.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Do we have boil in the bag rice?
Yeah, I can take care of it.
You know, yeah, it's the one thing that I'm concerned about is that Pemba mightn't be too used to freeze-dried food.
I never been K2, but every mountaineers and climbers, they have to see K2 and they just try to climb K2. That is all mountaineering, passion.
It was clear for me that Gerard would be part of this team because I found a good companion in Gerard. He was a climber who had the same ambitions as me. And then you are pushing the limits, higher, and then it ends up in the Himalaya.
Gerard was new for me, but Wilco knew him before, so I know Wilco, so I trust him. It was very quickly clear that Gerard was a very qualified climber.
2003, I was the expedition leader on Mount Everest. We had a small team. Gerard had a huge passion and he burst full of energy. He knew how dangerous actually mountaineering was. He knew over 8,000 meters, it's not called death zone for nothing. Every blood cell in your body has been deprived of oxygen, which numbs your brain cells. Making logical decisions become harder. The longer that you're up at high altitude, the more prone you are to your whole body disintegrating from inside. It creates mucus, it creates fluids, it actually starts to swell the brain, the lungs, till eventually you won't survive. Within high-altitude mountaineering, there is an unwritten code. If it's a case that someone is dying and you know you're going to put your own life at risk, you should leave them.
This 8,000 meter stuff was alien to me at this point, so I was just following direction, Descending path was in a bad way. It seemed to be moving exceptionally slowly and stopping to rest. And when I saw the look on Pat's face,
I was getting pulmonary edema, cerebral edema, thrombosis. I was being deprived of oxygen, and I started to die.
There was no energy there, and more than a lack of energy, I think there was an awareness of a lack of energy, and I think there was also a knowledge that he knew that himself that he was in trouble.
Pemba and in particular, Ger, were the people that were encouraging me down.